Greetings YouTube and welcome back to another video. One of those, I promised myself I'd be making this for months and I'm finally getting around to it in the series of questions that I get asked daily, weekly, monthly, you name it. Now I'm going to try to do about 3 different things in the span of this video because there's 3 different questions that I kind of want to answer at the same time, even though I might be doing another video at some point months down the road that answers these questions in kind of longer terms. The first is the question that a lot of people asked me to do with 4 stars that I did with 5 stars yesterday, and that's, should I rank 5 1 4-star or rank 4 2 4 stars? Now that's a bit of a misleading question just because you don't need tier 4 class catalyst to rank for a 4-star. So really when you're asking about resources with 4 stars, you're dealing more with tier 4 basic than tier 4 class catalyst, even though, with that being said, tier 4 basic are not the easiest thing to get when you're starting out, even though they're a lot easier than they used to be between Glory and even say the monthly login calendars that give you pretty much a guaranteed tier 4 basic every month just for logging in. The second question I want to answer is, when should you stop? And that's probably going to be the main question of this video because I think it's the one I'm going to spend the most time on. When should you stop ranking up 4 stars to concentrate on 5 stars? It's a question I get very, very often as well. And then the last question, is it better to rank 5 a 4-star or rank 3 a 5-star? I'm going to throw all those questions in at once. And I want you to know off the top that I have rank 5'd 33 4-star champions. And so I feel like I am definitely equipped to answer these questions based off of the 3 years plus experience that I've spent ranking up 4-star champions. And I also want to say off the top, I should have done a better job in my offer review of pointing out that it is a class-based rank up gem. I think part of the reason why I didn't is because even after ranking up 33 4-stars to rank 5, no matter what class I got from that gem, there would be someone that I would be very excited to take up. If I went science, I would love to either rank up Captain America, Infinity War, or Void, neither of which is even at rank 4 right now in my roster. If it was skill, there's a list of people. Gwenpool I would love to take up. Aegon I would love to take up. That's just 2 different ones for skill. Mutant, I would love to take up my Domino if I had gotten a mutant champ. Cosmic, Lord forbid, if I ever get Corvus Glaive in a 4-star, he would be my top choice, but I'd still love to also take up Venom. And then Tech, I don't have a 4-star Ghost, and there's still some other champs like a 4-star Star-Lord that I would love to take up for my roster. And then last but certainly not least, Mystic. There's certainly a champion that I'm waiting to take up as a 4-star, and that's Symbiote Supreme, but I'd also always wanted to take the Hood up to rank 5. And so yeah, even though it is not generic, it's class-based, and even though I've been ranking up 4 stars for over 3 years, there is still a class, no matter what class I got, I would be excited to rank up somebody in my roster. But I apologize to those of you that maybe didn't know that it was class-based and not a generic gem. All right, back to the purpose of this video. So for starters, I just want to say that yes, it is a lot easier to get 4-star shards now than it used to be. If you think it's hard for you to collect 5-star shards right now, 5-star shards, I would argue now are easier to get than 4-star shards were when I first started playing in the contest. 4-star shards were like almost impossible to get, and then when you did, you never ever got one of the 5 champions that you were aiming for, and that would be Black Widow, Thor, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, and Wolverine. Those champions, if you had those awakened at a high sig at rank 5, you basically beat the game. Kabam caught on to this, of course, and eventually nerfed every one of those champions, some to the ground, like Doctor Strange in patch 12.0. But regardless, that was the goal. It was to have one of a handful of champions, and I do think it's gotten better, but it's still pretty similar. You still have just a small list of 10 to 20 champs over the course of well over 100 20 plus champs that you really want to target to be successful. So my first advice to you, and we're going to start off with that question I listed at the beginning, how many, or should I take 2 champs to rank 4 or 1 champ to rank 5? If you are trying to complete Act 4, I would say it's better to rank 4 2 really great 4-stars, especially if they're awakened, than it is to take 1 4-star to rank 5. Now, rank 5s become a lot more important once you get to Act 5, and I say this even though I've had people tell me, even recently, that they beat the Collector fairly successfully, meaning probably less than 500 units spent, with a roster of 440 4-stars. And my hat's off to you all that did that, because I don't think I had the skill. I probably still don't have the skill to do that with a roster of 440s. And yet there are people out there, especially if you have like a 440 Stark Spidey, that were able to take the Collector down fairly easily. I saw somebody do it with a 440 High Sig Dr. Voodoo. So yeah, those videos certainly do exist. So I want you to memorize this number if you are an arena grinder, and that is the number 15. Because to answer both the first question and kind of segue to the second question, I believe if you're an arena grinder, you have to prepare your best champions for the guaranteed death matches that you're going to get in matches 11 through 15 of both the 4-star basic arena, the 4-star featured arena, the 5-star featured arena, and then you can talk about like the tier 1 alpha arena, you can talk about the tier 4 basic arena. Rounds 11 through 15 are always going to be really, really tough. So the first thing I did, because I would be light years behind in progression if it was not for the arena. And so if you're an arena grinder like me and you don't have a ton of money to throw at the game, but you do invest a lot of time in the game, you want to have at least 5 amazing synergy teams to wait and bring in to continue your infinite streak and get to that win 15 magic number with your best 550 champion. So in this case, and I'm going to do a separate video because it's another highly requested video I'm finally getting around to of the best MCOC synergy teams, but I have compiled some of my favorites. Stark Spidey, Blade, and Ghost Rider is the obvious number 1, but I also have Medusa, Quake, and Black Widow. I have Dr. Voodoo, Rogue, and Miss Marvel, Hyperion, Iceman, and Archangel, Killmonger, Iron Man Infinity War, and Captain America, Wolverine, X-23, and Captain America World War II, and then a champion roster. This is my personal favorite 4-star trio. I still bring this in every time I get to a win streak of 14, even in the 5-star featured, over some of my best rank 3 5-stars, because it is a guaranteed team for me to get to that magical win 15 streak in the arena, and that's Age of Ultron Vision, Scarlet Witch, and last but certainly not least, OG Vision. I love having all 3 of those champions to lean on. I don't know, no matter what, they could throw me a death match of 3 12,000 plus PI champs, and the usual death match lately has been Ghost Rider, Medusa, and Corvus, or Void, Corvus, and Blade. Those kind of death matches, I'm able to take them down pretty easily because OG Vision and Age of Ultron Vision guarantees awesome power control throughout the fight, and Scarlet Witch, even though she isn't what she used to be, is still incredible, especially at Sig 99, which of course my Scarlet Witch has been for a very long time. So memorize the number 15 because you really want to make sure that you have guaranteed arena teams to depend on of rank 5s to get you through rounds 11 through 15. Now, if that's not you, if you could care less about the arena, if you think it is the worst thing ever and you never grind in the arena, which is also probably why you're one of those people that ask me, how do you get more gold without being in the arena, because you're so gold deficient, you're thinking about the third question that I posted at the beginning of this video, which is, when do I stop ranking up 4-stars and start ranking up 5-stars? Now, it's a catch-22. Let me tell you a little story. When I first started playing this game, for the first couple of years even, the 5-star roster pool was incredibly small, and most of the champions were straight trash. So the only 2 champions that really were worth awakening, at least on my roster, were an awakened Star-Lord, which there are people who got Star-Lord as their first 5-star years ago and still don't have that guy awakened, and or a unawakened Magic. But most other champions, even like Magneto, definitely not worth ranking up. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see new players make is that they get caught in the stargazing, as I like to call it, because they see a 5-star and they automatically think that 5-star should go to rank 2 or rank 3. And months ago, maybe it's been even a year ago, Dorky Diggity Dave did a fantastic video over why it is not worth the resources to rank up all of your 5-stars, especially the ones you'll never use. When you take into account Tier 1 alphas and how you need 5 per rank up and how little Tier 1 alphas you need for 4-stars, it's just very much a no-brainer to take up a top champ. So the mistake that I see is twofold. So let's go to my 5-star roster now for this part of the video. So most of my 5-stars are at rank 1, and they will always be at rank 1 until for the arena death matches start coming to where I have to rank them up to rank 2, which I'm not looking forward to once the algorithm shifts. But until that day, most are going to stay down. And I've got some great 5-stars. Angela would be cool, but I'm not going to use her compared to my other better cosmic 5-stars. MODOK, when he becomes awakened, cool again. Probably not going to use him. So most of my 5-stars are arena fodder, and it's just the nature of the beast because you can only have such a limited amount of champions that you use on a daily basis. 3 for attack for Alliance Quest, 3 for attack and Alliance War, 5 for Alliance War defense, and then 5 for general questing teams. So the mistake that people make is they'll automatically take up like a really, really average 5-star, even somebody that might be fun to play with. Like I see a lot of unawakened rank 2 or even rank 3 5-star beasts. There's somebody out there that took up their 5-star beast long before they took up their awakened 4-star Archangel. Same class, but use those very, very precious Tier 4 class Catalysts, the 3 of them, which you do need for both 5-star rank 3 and 4-star rank 5, to rank 3 because, hey, it's a 5-star, and that's a huge mistake. The other huge mistake that I see made is that you have to really, really be careful about champions that must be awakened to be great. So the good news about current summoners in the contest is that you have the ability to pull far better 5-stars than I did years ago. But the bad news is because the pool is so big, the chance of awakening that 5-star is still really, really, really almost impossible. Very, very slim, especially if you only have 1 or 2 decent 5-stars in your collection. And most of the time, you're going to start out with a Groot and a Colossus and an Ant-Man and a Netflix Daredevil. Those are like the Pidgeys of, Pokemon reference of the commons of the 5-stars. She-Hulk is another one. I just see those people everywhere. They're like weeds in your garden. They're just everywhere, and everybody's got them, but you can't even pull them. So a 4-star High Sig Medusa at rank 5 is way better for your collection than a rank 3 unawakened Medusa. Same can be said for Korg. Same can be said for Archangel. Same can be said for Void. Same can be said for Star-Lord. There are certain champions that are very average if they're unawakened. And just because you have them as a 5-star doesn't mean that it is a good idea to rank them up past rank 1 when you have a 4-star that's awakened, especially a 4-star at a high sig level. So I didn't want this video to be super long, and I just checked the timer, and it's already close to 13 minutes, so I kind of just want to repeat what I've said as a closing argument and then end the video. I could go on for 20 more minutes, but I don't ever want to upload a video on my channel longer than 15 minutes, to be honest. Your time is too precious. Okay, so first and foremost, if you're in Act 4, I would recommend awakening as fast as you can your best 4-stars, but getting that team that it's eventually going to be rank 5. I would try to get 15 440s. I would try to get 15 440s and just look at tier lists and ask questions about what those 15 should be. And the 15 is also the magic number for 5 complete arena teams to get you through the death matches eventually in the arena. Then I would, at some point, slowly of course, rank 5 all 15 of those 4-stars and have those be your death match combos. Also, those are going to be amazing for you in questing and even in some cases Alliance War defense. Then from there, let's say you don't care about the arena at all. You don't want to make the mistake of bringing up a 5-star to rank 3 if they need to be awakened, and especially if they're at a high sig level and you have the 4-star equivalent that is already awakened at a high sig level. You want to make sure to not rank up and use those precious resources on a 5-star until you have either that 5-star awakened or the champion that doesn't need to be awakened acquired as a 5-star. I still think if you reach that magic number of 15, and let's say you don't care about arena, that's the time to just start focusing all of your Tier 1 alphas, Tier 4 basic, eventually Tier 4 class catalyst, Tier 2 alphas on your 5 stars, but make sure you don't make the mistake of bringing up champions too fast and using resources when you won't be able to actually use them because they're not awakened. Certainly there are exceptions to this rule, like Hyperion and Magic, for example, but there are also a lot of exceptions that are not good to ever rank them up, and there are so many bad 5 stars out there that most of your 5 stars should just be saved at rank 1 for the arena. All right, there you have it, YouTube. I see we're at 15 minutes, so I'm going to say thanks for watching and listening to this video. I might do more videos about this in the future, but take these topics one at a time. For now, I wanted to get something online that answered 3 different questions at once, and I hope this helps you, especially if you're an intermediate summoner that's kind of trying to figure out how to get your 4 stars slowly to 440 and then eventually up to rank 5.